Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today for that webinar. Today, we are going to be speaking about how to make the bus routes greener and safer. And today, I'm joined by Veronique Delamagne, who is a Security and Mobility Manager at International School of Brussels. Hello, Veronique.
Hello, Justina. Hello, everybody.
Thank you so much for joining us and kindly agreeing to be here with us. And I am the representative of BatOnRoute. I'm the part of international sales, and BatOnRoute, of course, is a software for the school buses. Just to introduce a little bit the software to the ones that don't know anything about it, it is a software, so we don't install anything on the buses, and it has three elements: the parents app, the drivers or bus attendants app, and the panel control for the schools. And the idea behind the system is that those three elements communicate with one another and everybody gets a real-time info. And right now we have been trusted by over 900 schools in 29 countries, to be precise. So it only shows that all of the schools face the same problems, and the transportation is a difficult subject. Veronique is nodding and smiling. She's going to tell us a little bit more about that in a second. And Veronique, I'm sure everybody knows the school. You are quite a famous and very excellent school, no? To be compared to. But if you could tell us some facts and figures about ISB.
Well, as you mentioned here on the slide, so ISB is a non-profit school, and basically it has over 60 years of history. We are definitely around 1,300 students and over 60 countries and languages represented on campus. Our staffing, yes, is about 215, actually it's more than that, teachers. And in total, we have over 300 employees. Of course, maintaining the campus as well, not only teaching. And yeah, quite a big campus, a green campus. We're just at the edge of the Forêt de Soignes in Brussels. So lots of buildings and lots of trees to take care of.
Yeah, I have to add here a little bit informally that, well, we visited Veronique at the campus, and when she's speaking about those numbers, those people were nowhere to be seen, because the extent of the campus is this big that you cannot perceive that many people being there. It's amazing.
That's true. Yes.
Okay, and what about the transportation that you organize? Well, it's a very big size.
Yes, we have 30 bus routes active every morning and every afternoon, which we call the normal daily routes. We cater to between 800 and 850 students daily, really depending on their activities and the increase of students in school. Round about 60 to 65%, depends on each year, of our students actually take our school buses. And that's something that we are very proud of, because of course, it's a service that we give to our community, but also it helps keeping our campus a bit cleaner aired, put it that way. Yeah. Not having almost, shall we say, 500 cars coming onto campus every day to cater to those 800 students. So it is very popular here at ISB. Traffic in Brussels being quite complicated, it is also just a help for the families. Of course, we have as well what we call late buses, which cater to students for after-school activities. And there it's 3 routes departing after 5 p.m. and another 3 routes departing after 6 p.m. So that's our late bus service, which is the latest addition onto BatOnRoute.
Yes, it was. I was smiling a bit because I was on your webpage a little bit browsing one day, and I saw that you have one of the most clean air areas in the whole area of Brussels. So this is just amazing.
Yes, we're very lucky to be at the edge of the city and really at the edge of the forest. So we do benefit from both the situation and the clean air.
Yeah, and the buses.
Of course, of course.
Yeah, well, I popped at the screen so you can see how the system a little bit looks like. Now we said before that it's 3 elements. So the first element that you can see is the app for the parents. The app for the parents, well, obviously you can see the buses movement in real time. Also receive the notifications when the bus is closed, delayed, when the child gets on, does not get on for any reason, so we can react if there is any situation that we did not expect. And then we as the parents, we can also put an absence, book an ad hoc trip. The whole idea that we had, that Veronique is going to speak in a moment how she perceives it, but the whole idea is that the parents have all the info necessary on their app, so they don't have to call the school, email the school. So I think a lot of admin burden is taken away. I don't know, Veronique, how it is for you. Was it taken away?
There is some admin which was taken away, which helps us to concentrate on more essential daily tasks for the buses. Definitely, we don't have, as you said, those calls or those emails just saying, "Oh, where is the bus? Is the bus delayed today?" Because of course they see it directly on the app.
Yeah, thank you. Then we have the app for the drivers or bus attendants. We placed here the tablets as well. At ISB, they make a use of the tablets, but the visibility is much better then. But this app, as you can see, it's very plain and simple and clean. We try to replicate a little bit the idea of as bus attendant or a driver was using a piece of paper and doing what they traditionally were doing now, so just placing ticks and crosses next to the names. So we want them to feel that it's similar, but on the screen of a device. So this one is very simple. And then something that is not simple at all, and you can complicate it as much as you wish to, is the school's admin panel, where you have all the operations, you have all the command of all your routes and the students. And you also receive the info in real time. So there is no necessity for the school to wait until the route finishes. We see in real time what's happening. And here, of course, what is really interesting is the reports, because I think that well, I counted it once, Veronica. I don't know if you did it. We have 42, so with few clicks you can retrieve any info you need. And majority of our schools say that this is the part that they use the most. I don't know how it is for you.
We do use quite a lot of the reports, and sometimes we combine information on live situation that we see and then pull a report. Just a simple example, we need to contact families for just giving them information that would affect their route in the next following days. We would not, in that case, for example, use the notification system that we can send from the admin panel to the families. We would use their email because it's a more direct way of giving more information and making sure they receive it prior to whatever is happening on that route in the next coming days. And then we will just pull a report, for example, of the list of students and their tutor related email addresses, and we just use that very frequently. Or, for example, another report that we use very often is the occasional trip report. As we have here at ISB, students who have their bus routes booked for the entire year, but we also who just have to use it occasionally. And of course, if we need to invoice those occasional trips to the families, we just pull the occasional trip report directly from the admin panel, and our accounting department can just go ahead with that information and prepare the invoicing.
Okay, yeah. So you make quite a use from that system. Also, something to add is that always we try to listen to our schools and add new features. So our system is constantly changing, and the newest features that we have. Well, Veronica is smiling because she is like trying to for us to give some features to the school, which we will try. But the newest ones that have been added is the route optimization and also the pickup control, so that the school can have control of the authorized people who pick up the children, right? And Let's continue. And the last thing that I wanted to look at before we have a chat is just speak about PowerSchool a little bit, because ISB is a PowerSchool user, and actually we have been introduced to PowerSchool thanks to them back in the day, and we usually integrate with the systems of the school just to take off this burden a little bit and make everything safer, because the information is passed on in a very safe way by the API, so there is no Excel on the way. But also, I, I think I would like to think that it takes away a lot of admin tasks that are repetitive, no? Because since we read, for example, the absences from PowerSchool, you don't need to place them onto BatOnRoute. They are already placed for you. But what are the practicalities for you as the school, Veronique?
Well, for us, as you said earlier, it takes away a lot of admin. I just want to clarify one thing. It takes away a lot of admin, but don't think that it takes away people who work in the department. We have been working with two persons way before BatOnRoute was implemented into our ISB, and we still have those same people, simply because we operate from 7 o'clock in the morning to 8 o'clock in the 6 o'clock, sorry, in the evening. So that is something that sometimes comes up a bit. You've got less people on your team. No, not at all.
Oh no.
We've got the same people on our team, but their work is a lot more efficient. Simply, as you said, for example, absences, yes, they are communicated directly from BatOnRoute into BatOnRoute from PowerSchool, and that's totally automatic. It's for us, we rely definitely on those absences, which are then, of course, from the admin panel shifted into the driver app. And again, that's totally automatic until almost the last minute. If we need to add an absence because we receive a last minute call or email from the parent, it can be done. It's not, sorry, having somebody running onto the parking with a little note to give to the driver. And I know we used to function like that, and some schools still do. So it's a lot safer for everybody, the children, everyone, and the parents, of course, knowing exactly, okay, I sent an email 5 minutes ago, and I see now in my parent app that my child has already boarded the bus. So it's really reassuring and safe also for the parents. Time saving, as you said, yes, definitely, but not necessarily making the work less.
Yeah, definitely more efficient, right? And also, we know that that you at ISB, you have a very strong and very potent IT team.
Yes.
So there are some features we know that we have not granted to you, but still you found a way to work around it with your team, thanks to maybe the open APIs that we are providing. So what are other features, or maybe what do you do? Do you pull any report? You don't have to give us details, but just to
well, for example, it's I think it's very particular to each school's daily operation. For us, for example, for the lower school, so the early childhood center and the elementary school, there is definitely a must confirm attendance for these students onto the buses or not on the bus. And in order to do that, really on the school side, not on the bus operation side, they have created bus lines and bus line teachers. So every day the bus line teacher receives the list of the students that they have to take onto the bus. And that was not a report which was available from BatOnRoute directly, because of course there's the whole homeroom situation, etc. So our IT and Kathy she works wonders. I mean, I know nobody who knows Excel better than she does, for example, but she created those reports to be automatized with the information coming from BatOnRoute into a very simple system for bus lines teachers to extract. And that is something that is very important, because it has to be available to them as late as possible in order to be up to date. And of course, we still have the little occasional
Last minute
student.
changes.
Exactly, the occasional student, or at the end, oh no, I forgot I have an activity, or my activity is cancelled. That, of course, that is, human beings have to be there to activate things as well. So definitely.
Okay, I will maybe stop sharing because I would like to continue with the chat. So like this, we see you better. But sometimes, well, very often when we speak with new schools who have not implemented any digital system as yet, their biggest fear is the implementation process. If how it's going to be, what obstacles they're going to encounter. It's something new. What were the challenges that you faced? How did you overcome them? Like, what was your experience?
Well, first of all, I think anybody who moves into a new system when they've been used to working in a certain way for a very long time, that's already a big change, and resistance to change is totally human. So that is one thing. I personally, when I wanted to move on to BatOnRoute, is definitely involving the team, and of course involving the different schools, because it will affect their way of working. It's reassuring them. In the more operational side, it's as well basically reassuring the drivers. We have drivers who are of a certain age. Maybe it's very specific to Belgium, but we have a lot of retirees who actually start working bus routes after. And yes, the age can be a barrier in sometimes. For example, not being used to a tablet or a smartphone, etc. Driver-wise, it's also, but you're going to be controlling what I'm doing. You're going to check what time I leave my house. And it's all those things, that we have to reassure, but also give them the benefit that they will gain. For example, well, you pass a stop, the child is not there. The parent cannot not say that okay, I could have seen on the app, on the parent app, that you were there on time, etc. So it's really educating the people that are going to be using and benefiting from the use of the app. What we did, we started now, it's like 2.5 years ago, I think. We're closing our second full year with BatOnRoute. Basically, the first time we started using it, we did it step by step. First of all, we tested it with one of our drivers. We asked him. We put ourselves. We were students and parent of ourselves onto the bus and experienced it as a parent, as a student, as a driver, to see how it works and what everyone can see. And then we just gradually increased the number of routes, 5 routes per week. So it took us about 6 weeks to get all our routes onto BatOnRoute. And only the next new school year, the next September, we introduced the parents onto BatOnRoute. So it takes a little bit of time. It was
a process.
It was a whole process, yes. And I think that if someone is considering putting it in place, I always say maybe start your project during a school year, getting everybody on board slowly, and before you go, let's say, public, giving it to the families, and make sure everything is operational before then.
Yeah. Let's not forget that you have 30 buses.
Yeah.
So that's why it took, because the time is substantial, but there are many lines and over 800 students. So it could be overwhelming to putting everybody on board from the very beginning. No?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, and the last question that I have prepared is. Let's concentrate on being green, and you are considered to be a green school now. The fresh air and well, we just need to see your campus to understand it. So many trees, etc. How did you? Because many schools, like, forgetting even about BatOnRoute, but how did you make the transportation, the collective transport, the busing, the most popular way of coming to school? Because a lot of schools struggle with that, actually.
Mm-hmm. I think it's really historic, because ISB, yes, has a very long history, and it's something. I have colleagues who were students here in the 80s, in the 90s, or even before, and they've never known ISB without the buses. So it's really historic. I think it's been very much developed over the years, definitely. But one thing that we do, and I know that not many schools will go for that, is that we do home stops. So where possible, we cater directly to the students at their doorstep, which is, number one, very reassuring for the parents, especially for very young children or children with special needs. And second is, yes, the location of our campus is not central within the city. So public transport is there, but it may take longer. So those are little things that really helped, I think, develop the ISB bus transportation system, definitely. And of course, yes, trying to make the campus and the way to the campus greener as well. Definitely, when you bus 25, 30, 50 people and students in a bus, you only have that space of one bus onto the road and not more. So at the same time, we try to avoid creating extra traffic jams just in front of our school, in front of at the entrance. Getting in 30 buses is a lot quicker, a lot safer than maybe 400 or 500 cars.
Yeah, exactly. Imagine all those lines of parents being frustrated, waiting in a huge line.
Yes.
This is the problem of many schools, and actually, very often when as you know, we travel a lot, we go to a lot of fairs, and transportation is one of the subjects that appears here and there more often, mainly because the schools have to extend their catchment area, so they need busing system, and also because they say, listen, the scenes that we have to live through every day in the morning is just frustration for everybody.
Definitely.
So, yeah. Well,
and we're seeing that. We're seeing that since our BatOnRoute system is on, is that families who live further and further away from campus are requesting now the bus service because they feel it also as a safe alternative rather than asking their children, whatever the age, to take public transport.
Of course, like that, you know that they reach the destination safely.
Exactly.
Well, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for joining us, and yeah, we are in contact.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.